You know what's not easy? Pimpin'. Why did the gingerbread cookie go to the doctor? Because he felt crummy. All these jokes can be found. It's not a great joke book, but it's a pretty good joke book. I found, like, more books than I could get out of the trash at work tonight. I was bringing the trash out. Yeah, I'm a trash picker. You got a problem with that? I looked in, there's a box spilled over with all these, like, pretty good condition. I mean, they're not great books, but, like, well, this was my steal of the night. This is just, like, The Facts of Life and Other Dirty Jokes by Willie Nelson. I'm thrilled to have this. Like, it's in perfect shape. Like, I don't think it was read, and it was thrown away. Like, I can't justify that, ever, books being thrown away. It's as bad as being burned. Like, donate them to Goodwill. You know what? I'm going to start taking them. I'm going to start taking all the books that we're going to throw away, and I'm going to go through them. I'm going to keep the ones that I like Willie Nelson and a pretty good joke book. Lots. I got like 7 or 8 books. 6, 7, 8 books. I don't know how many. A bunch of books. ADD for women. Do I need it? No. My wife? Probably. But this is infuriating to me. Like, this is $12.95. Why wasn't this priced like at $5.95 and sold on the shelf? Somebody would have bought this. I'm sure somebody would have bought a joke book. I'm sure all the books that I took tonight, somebody would eventually buy. Not all the time. I mean, the rate of books you buy in at a used bookstore versus the rate that goes out is usually not as good. We make a lot of our money on our hardcover books. Like, any modern fictional book that's been out in the last like 10, 20 years, we usually buy it in for like $1.25, and then we sell it for $3.95, which is still a good deal, and you're still getting like $1 something for it. So yeah, you're not getting what you want, I know, but you're getting a fair price for what we're going to sell it at. Actually, a higher than fair price. I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about tonight. I'm not going to revisit the stuff from earlier because it just made me mad. But I was listening to what's the name of the show on NPR? Ingram, not Ingram. It's gonna kill me until I figure it out, but it'll come to me and I'll tell you in a brief moment. But she had Elizabeth Warren on, and she was talking about how she kept waiting every day for these bankers, these CEOs of these banks to literally be taken away in handcuffs. What happened with, I heard someone else give a great example of it, like kids that used to go door to door to sell magazine subscriptions, and these older folks would buy them, $20, $30, $40 worth of subscriptions, and they'd never come because it was just a scheme. Well, the same thing kind of happened for the loans and lending for mortgages too. Now, they're just stealing from people. Literally, banks just stole money from people, and they're all free. Yet, we have criminals that, like, stole a candy bar, or, no, maybe not a candy bar, but, like, stole from a grocery store to feed their family. Like, there is no justice anymore. I must become justice. I must become the night. Did I say that out loud? Alright. Well, when the superhero rises, it's not me, okay? I'm way out of shape right now. If I get in shape, we'll put a group together. We'll bring justice back to America. Student loans, for the first time, now outweigh the entire nation's credit card debt. It's about $1 billion, between $900 million and $1 billion. They were talking about this on the radio tonight. Diane Reeves. She's awesome. I love listening to her. $854 billion in credit card debt. So that's less. Students with 8, 9, sometimes more percent interest rate on these loans. They'll never pay them back. They literally will never pay them back. Most people, even if you become a doctor, see, there's these misconceptions like, well, if you want to, pull up your bootstraps and go to college. First of all, if you don't get a job that is guaranteed to pay you a shit ton of money every year, you're never going to be able to pay off your loan. And I know people who work real hard. Mario Carrero, I've talked about him before. He's one of the hardest working guys I've ever met. Knuckle busting, winter, up on roofs, he'll do anything. He's a hard worker to to provide for his family. He still can't pay off his student loan. He can't get a job in the field he went to school for, electricity. And it's unfair, and it's sad, and it's disgusting. And he's not a person who will stand up and fight back. But yeah, I tell you, if I was in that position, I'd find a way out of it one way or another. Like, it's ridiculous. Like I was saying the other night, if you cut $23 billion off of, I can't remember what the figure was, off of the defense budget or the military spending, you basically could pay for everyone going into college next year. For community colleges. I'm not talking Yale, Harvard, Oxford, so on and so forth, but like, why don't we do that? I don't want my money going to military spending. I don't want a dime of it to go to the military. I don't. I'm sorry if you disagree. I don't want my money going there. If somebody else wants their money going there, that's fine. That's great. You want to invest your tax dollars in that, that's fine. I don't want mine going there. Not like I'm paying a lot of taxes, but the fact of it is, it's just sad and disgusting, and it makes me so, like, upset. Like, people tell you to go to college to get an education for a job you probably aren't going to be able to get when you get out of college. There's no middle class anymore, so you're taking loans, and you're never going to be able to afford to pay these loans up. Now, I was about to say, like, yeah, you want to become a doctor? Great, go become a doctor. What you don't realize is, I know doctors, not a lot of doctors. Carol knows some rich doctors, I'm sure. But, like, the doctors that I've met, they make a lot of money, but so much money goes back into malpractice. Like, I think, I'm not going to say who it was, but they make about $120,000 a year, and about $65,000 of it goes back to malpractice. So, if you are a family of 5, like we are, which I'm not a doctor, and you're clearing just the $65,000 a year, you're probably doing okay at best. You're not doing great, though. Like, you would think a doctor, when you think of a doctor and they make all this crazy money, you think of them owning, property and boats, and it's not like that. I mean, some doctors do, certainly. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that all doctors are poor. I'm just saying that, like, insurance fraud. Insurance is the fraud, if you haven't figured that out yet. Just think about it. No, let's talk about it. Insurance. How much money have I invested in car insurance, health insurance, home insurance, that I've never, made a claim against? You should be getting at least, I would say, half of that money back. I don't mind paying for the insurance of knowing that somebody will take care of my house if it burnt to the ground. However, it hasn't happened yet. And I think you're just stealing from people there, too. Health insurance, like, it's just like this middle guy, and I don't appreciate it. Let me just restart this for Carol real quick. Not the computer. A weird typing box that just popped up in the upper left-hand corner of my screen. I don't know what that is. It makes me so scared, you don't even know it. You want to hear another joke? I'm going to have to lighten the mood pretty soon. But this college thing, when I was listening to this, I was just like, oh, by the way, I had to retire the Pimp Cup for the night. It's just so top-heavy. So this is the one that I got the other day. Like, this is as big as my head. This is a huge cup. It's a quart, gallon? I don't know. Not a gallon. I don't know. 2 quarts, 2 spoonful. Teaspoon. I don't know. Bah. Fine dwarven ale. I guess that's all I got to say about it. You think, like, not you specifically, but people think that, like, when you say stuff like this, that you're the crazy person. Like when I talk about how CEO pay rises and regular pay has never really gone up a significant amount, like, that's real. These aren't like these funny stories I'm telling. They're horrible truths. And there's no justice. There's nothing being done about it. Banks get bailed out while they're ripping people off. While they're ripping people off, they're getting bailed out. Like, it's ridiculous. I'd rather have all my taxes go to healthcare. I'd love to have a free healthcare system across the board. And then maybe some of these new doctors can get jobs and stuff. College, jobs, you get out of college. There was another point I wanted to make about college, but like, you just can't win, because you're supposed to go to college and get an education so that you can get a job. But you can't get the job, and then you're stuck with this crazy loan. Like, it's bullshit. It's just bullshit. It's all bullshit. Like, there's so much money, and money isn't even the problem. Like, I wish every physical form of currency would just disappear tomorrow, like, off the face of the earth. Could you imagine that? It'd be a whole new world, man. I know, like, bartering and trading only goes so far, and, like, well, I'm an artist. My skills are worth at least 2 of your horses. You know what I mean? Like, it's too hard to deal with that type of a system. But there's no legitimacy to money or credit or anything anymore. That's why I just say that. I'm not going to say it. Because I'll get somebody in trouble, I'm sure. But I think people who have credit card debt should just stop paying their credit cards. You know, like, oh, your credit score is going to go down. You got to blah, 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 blah. So, you know what else is going to go down? The bullshit. All the banks are going to go down hard. All that money that's already spent on their end by their CEOs and the bank CEOs, they're off vacationing on far and distant lands and shores. Stop paying. Stop paying. Who cares about the credit score? You know what? Something's got to change, and I think the removal of the credit score is probably a good start. You know, don't tell me what I'm worth. Like, don't tell me I'm worthless because I have bad credit. Credit means nothing. Like, if I died tomorrow, do you think I give a shit about any of that? Like, I don't, if you're wondering. You know, I know things have to get worse before they get better, but better. Porky Pig just stepped in for a minute for me. But how bad does it have to get? Like, how poor do people have to get? There is no middle class. There's the poor and the rich. And we outweigh the rich heavily. Like, we do. Like, we have the numbers to just stand up against them right now. The whole country just say, you know what? We're not playing your game anymore. We're not going to support this ridiculous notion of credit and a credit system. And, like, it's just stupid. It's a fake. It's all fake. It's all lies to get more people's money. Oh, money. Now, the internet. You hear about this today. There's a petition I signed today. They're going to try to take control of the internet again. And so what that means basically is that they'll be able to charge you a lot more for a lot less speed. Like, I took a screenshot. I went to, if you've never been to Speakeasy, it tests your internet connection. I've got a pretty good connection here. I couldn't imagine, like, I wouldn't be able to do these videos anymore. If I had a certain amount of bandwidth that I could upload, or if it was too slow to upload, I'd have to stop doing these. I'd have to, like, find another way to do them. That scares me a little bit, because I think ultimately, if you trace it back, it's all about money, but it's all about that fear factor too. Like, look what I'm saying right now. I'm saying that our government, our banks, our credit system is corrupt and evil. You know, someone's hearing that. I don't know if it's having any effect on anyone, but the fact of the matter is, it's like, this is, I think, what they fear. Maybe not somebody who's got, 40 people watching every day. But it's about who is watching. Like, maybe one of those people has some influence. Maybe they have some power. Maybe they have a way of, maybe they own a local newspaper. It's got to start somewhere, and if I end up dead because I'm talking about this, then, well, it's been fun on the road to 40. It would be a good death, I guess, in a sense. But if 100,000 people were watching this, I'd be a martyr. And people would lose their minds. Like, oh, he drowned in his bathtub. He threw up and choked to death. Like, I don't know. I hope it never comes to that. I don't want to die. But I'd rather be true to myself so that I will never fail. Thanks, Beastie Boys. Thank you. Anywho, we're going on 15 minutes here. I've given you my oh man, this is some real heavy shit tonight. I'll come back for another one. If you come back for it, I'll be glad to see you there. If you guys are liking these, I've been throwing up subscribe buttons one way or the other. It's funny that my eyes immediately go to the screen rather than the camera when I do this, because I want to see how cool it looks. It doesn't look very cool. Have a great night. Don't forget to make somebody smile tomorrow. Don't forget. And let's make the world spin a little happier together. I'll be back in a few minutes with another one. If you're back, great. If not, I'll see you next time. Hope you had a great Wednesday, a wonderful Wednesday. And I'm going to start doing a Throwback Thursday show. Maybe have some old video footage that I upload. I've got a lot of, like, not a lot. I wish I had a converter for all my tapes. Nonetheless, Throwback Thursday. We'll have to think of something we'll do together. Anywho, have a great night, and come check out the next video. This was episode 46. We're getting real close to 50, and I don't know. I'll catch you in the next one, alright? Stop paying your credit cards.